You ever notice how the internet feels different at 3 in the morning? Not just quieter, but wrong somehow, like you've stumbled into a version of the web that wasn't meant for daylight hours? And most of us have been there, scrolling through video recommendations when we should be sleeping, clicking on things we'd never watched during the day, and that's exactly when some of you found it. A channel with no name, just a string of numbers and letters, uploading videos at exactly 3:07 a.m. every single time, and the thing is, you weren't supposed to find it at all. What started as a curiosity for a handful of insomniacs in early 2012 became one of the most unsettling mysteries in YouTube's hidden archive. Not because of what the videos showed, but because of what they implied about who was watching, and why they needed to be uploaded at that exact minute every time. The channel is gone now, scrubbed from the platform years ago. But the people who saw those videos, they can't forget them. And maybe that was the point all along. Before we go deeper into this, I want to say something. If you're here, it's because you feel it too, that strange pull toward the things the internet tried to bury. The stories that don't make it into mainstream coverage because they're too weird, too uncomfortable, or too real in ways that don't fit neat explanations. You're not alone in that fascination, and if you want to stay close to these stories, it's the ones that matter to people like us who can't stop looking into the digital dark, consider subscribing. It's not about numbers. It's about keeping this small space alive for the people who get it, who understand that some mysteries deserve to be remembered even when everyone else wants to forget. You'll find more of these stories here. The lost, the strange, the uncomfortably human. And honestly, it helps to know there are others out there who care about the same strange corners of the web that you do. The channel first appeared in January of 2012. Though nobody can pinpoint the exact date because the earliest videos were only discovered weeks after they'd been uploaded. The account name was a random string, something like K7_HGD9/2XM. It's a kind of auto-generated username you'd expect from a bot or a throwaway account, and at first, that's what people assumed it was. The videos themselves were mundane to the point of being boring. 30-second clips of empty rooms, parking lots at night, static television screens. It's the kind of footage you'd record by accident if your phone was in your pocket. No music, no narration, just ambient sound, the hum of electronics, distant traffic, the buzz of fluorescent lights. Each video had a title that was just a date and time stamp, nothing else, and they were uploaded with almost no views, no comments, no interaction at all. For months, the channel existed in total obscurity, just another piece of digital noise in the vast ocean of YouTube content, except for one detail that a few people started to notice. Every single upload happened at exactly 3:07 a.m. It's Eastern Standard Time. It was a user on a defunct forum called Digital Graveyard who first pointed this out in June of 2012. They'd been cataloging strange YouTube channels as a hobby, looking for patterns in abandoned accounts and bot networks. And this one caught their attention because of the consistency. 3:07 a.m., never 3:06, never 3:08, always exactly 3:07. And this went on for months without a single deviation. The forum user, who went by the name Watcher in the Static, posted a thread asking if anyone else had noticed the channel, and within days, a small group of people admitted they had. Most of them were night shift workers, insomniacs, or people in different time zones who happened to be online during those early morning hours in the US. And almost all of them described the same experience. They'd found the channel by accident, usually through YouTube's recommendation algorithm, serving it up in the sidebar after they'd been watching urbex videos or true crime content. And once they clicked on one video, the algorithm kept suggesting more. Here's where I want to pause for a second and ask you something, because I think this touches on something we've all felt. Have you ever found a video or a channel that seemed like it was meant specifically for you? Something so obscure that it felt impossible anyone else would know about it. And did it ever make you wonder if you were supposed to find it at all? If this story resonates with you, if you've ever fallen down a rabbit hole that felt a little too personal, drop a comment below. You can just say, "I've seen something like this before," or share your own experience. It matters more than you think, because when other people read it, you realize they're not the only ones who felt this way. And that's how we make sense of these things together, by admitting we've all been there in the strange hours, looking at things we can't explain. As more people began following the channel throughout 2012, the content started to change subtly at first. The videos were still mundane, still just static shots of unremarkable locations. But people began noticing recurring elements. The same empty parking lot appeared in multiple videos, filmed from slightly different angles. The same room with peeling wallpaper and a single folding chair showed up again and again. One video showed a television screen displaying nothing, but static and in the reflection. You could barely make out the silhouette of someone holding the camera, but the figure was too dark and blurry to identify. The videos never got longer than 2 minutes, and they never included any clear indication of where they were filmed or why. What disturbed people most wasn't the content itself, but the feeling that these videos were documenting something, some kind of routine or ritual that required documentation at that specific time every night. By October of 2012, the channel had accumulated around 300 videos and maybe 50 subscribers, all of whom seemed to be watching out of morbid curiosity rather than genuine interest. That's when things shifted. On October 19th, the channel uploaded a video that broke the pattern. It was still uploaded at 3:07 a.m., but this time, the video was different. It showed the same empty room with the folding chair, but now there was something on the chair, a piece of paper. The camera zoomed in slowly, shakily, until the paper filled the frame, and on it, written in pencil, were the words "You're watching." That was it. No other context, no explanation, just those 2 words, and the video ended. The comment section, which had been mostly empty on previous videos, suddenly filled up with people asking what it meant. Was it directed at the viewers? Was it a statement about surveillance? Was someone aware that people had been following this channel? And if so, how did they know? The next video, uploaded at 3:07 a.m. on October 21st, showed the same room, same chair, but the paper was gone. In its place was a small digital camera, the kind you could buy at any electronics store in the early 2000s, sitting on the chair and facing the door. The video played for 90 seconds, just a static shot of the camera on the chair, and then it cut to black. People watching started to theorize. Some thought it was an art project, some kind of commentary on voyeurism or digital observation. Others thought it was more sinister, that the channel was documenting surveillance or stalking behavior. A few people claimed they recognized the locations in the videos, saying the parking lot looked like one near a shopping center in Maryland, or the room looked like an abandoned motel in Pennsylvania, but none of these claims were ever verified. What everyone agreed on was that the channel felt intentional now, like whoever was running it wanted people to watch, wanted them to piece together some kind of narrative, but they weren't going to make it easy. In November, the uploads became more frequent. Instead of every few days, videos started appearing every single night at 3:07 a.m., and the content became increasingly unsettling. One video showed a computer screen with a YouTube page open, and if you paused the video and looked closely, you could see it was the channel's own page, meaning whoever was filming was watching their own videos or monitoring their view count. Another video showed a list of usernames written on a piece of paper. Several people who'd been actively commenting on the channel claimed their usernames were on that list. One user, who went by Night Shift Observer, said they saw their name and immediately deleted their account. And they later posted on Digital Graveyard saying they felt like they were being watched in real life. Though they admitted they had no proof, and it could have been paranoia, the channel continued uploading through December of 2012 and into 2013. Always at 3:07 a.m., never missing a night. The videos became more abstract. Long shots of static, footage of empty streets with no movement, close-ups of electrical outlets, and light switches. One video was just 2 minutes of a clock on a wall, ticking from 3:04 to 3:06. And then the video ended exactly at 3:07. People started to burn out on trying to decode it. The novelty wore off. And the subscriber count actually started dropping because the content was too repetitive, too oblique. By March of 2013, only a handful of people were still actively watching. The discussion on Digital Graveyard had mostly died down. Then, on March 27, 2013, the channel uploaded a video that changed everything. It was titled "Final Entry," and it was the longest video the channel had ever posted, just over 6 minutes. It started the same way as all the others, a static shot of an empty room, but this time, someone walked into the frame. They were wearing dark clothing, and their face was obscured by shadow and the low quality of the footage. But you could see them moving around the room, adjusting the camera, checking something on a laptop. Then they sat down in the folding chair and stared directly at the camera for almost 3 full minutes without moving. The audio was just the hum of a computer fan and distant ambient noise. And then, in the last 30 seconds of the video, the figure leaned forward and whispered something. The audio quality was so poor that people had to amplify it and clean it up to hear what was said. And when they finally did, the phrase was "Thank you for being awake." Then the video cut to black. The channel never uploaded again. The account stayed active for a few more weeks, and then, in mid-April of 2013, it was deleted or removed, no one knows which. YouTube never commented on it, and attempts to archive the videos were only partially successful. A few people had downloaded some of the early mundane clips, but the later videos, including Final Entry, were lost. The few remaining downloads circulated on file-sharing sites for a while, but even those seem to have disappeared over the years. People who were part of the original group of watchers have tried to piece together what it all meant, but there's no consensus. Some think it was an art project about digital loneliness and the people who inhabit the internet at strange hours. Others believe it was something more sinister. A stalker documenting their activities, or someone monitoring a specific group of people. A few think it was a social experiment to see how people would react to ambiguous, eerie content delivered at a psychologically vulnerable time of night. What bothers me most, and maybe what bothers you too, is the specificity of 3:07 a.m. Why that time? It's not 3 a.m., which has all kinds of cultural and superstitious significance. It's not a round number or a time that means anything obvious. Some people have suggested it's related to the timestamp of a specific event or the moment someone died, but there's no evidence for any of that. Others think it's random, chosen precisely because it doesn't mean anything, which somehow makes it more unsettling. The figure in the final video thanked the viewers for being awake, which implies they knew people were watching, that the uploads were meant to reach a specific audience. The insomniacs, the night shift workers, the people who exist in that liminal space between late night and early morning when the world feels different. Maybe the channel was meant to be a kind of beacon or a signal, something to remind those people that they weren't alone in those hours. Or maybe it was something darker, a way of marking them, of knowing who was awake and watching when everyone else was asleep. There's no clean resolution here, no satisfying answer that ties everything together, and maybe that's the point. The internet is full of things like this, strange projects and accounts that appear, accumulate a small following, and then vanish without explanation. We want them to mean something, to be part of some larger narrative, but sometimes they're just evidence of how strange people can be, how the tools we use to connect can also be used to unsettle and disturb. The channel is gone, the videos are mostly lost, and the person behind it, if it was just one person, has never come forward. All that's left are the memories of the people who watched, who stayed up too late and clicked on something they shouldn't have, and the uncomfortable feeling that someone out there knew they would. So the next time you're awake at 3 in the morning, scrolling through videos you won't remember watching, maybe think about what else is out there. Uploaded at times chosen for a reason you'll never understand, waiting for people like you to find it. And if you ever come across a channel that uploads at exactly the same strange time every night, maybe ask yourself why you're awake to see it, because the internet doesn't forget, and neither do the people who watch from the other side. If this story stayed with you, if it made you think about your own late-night browsing habits or the things you've stumbled across that you can't explain, you're exactly the kind of person this channel is for. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next one, whenever you happen to be awake.